Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I'm super excited. Christian Lishen is a Patreon supporter of this channel. Oh my God, that is so cool. And he sent me a Canuck, which just dropped on DLT. I also bought a Canuck, so shame on me. But this arrived yesterday. This one arrived today, and I haven't looked at this one. I have looked at this, and I haven't made a video. Actually, I've made 3 videos. I'm making a 4th because I just keep messing them up or deciding I want to do this a little bit differently. The Canuck is a small American, all-American made knife. And I believe that Christian has been working at knives, like, starting to really sell them around 2020-ish, I think, but was like playing around before that. But his craftsmanship is well thought of and talked up. And I was super excited to figure out that he was actually a Patreon supporter of mine and that he delves into my favorite region of knives, which is small fixed knives, especially when you make them into in-pocket carries. This obviously has a sheath on it, although I gotta say that this particular sheath is super nicely done. Christian told me that his good friend makes them for him, and these are all hand punctured, so I can't imagine sitting there. I mean, he must have some big calluses, and he said that he was trying to save up to get him a leather sewing machine. You should definitely get that man a leather sewing machine. These are awesome sheaths. And so I've already put this one in here to get it a little bit fit. Let's take a look at this one first, and then we'll compare it to this one as well. First, smash that like button, leave a comment, and as always, thank you to my Patreon supporters who get to try to win a knife every month with their subscription. Ooh yeah, $3 a month lets you enter to win a knife of the month. And we're gonna take a look at this guy here. So first off, I have to say, the sheath, really premium, very nice. Letter of authenticity in here. And this is AEB-L. It doesn't say that on the blade. I already know that because I've taken a look at this one. He does all of his heat treat in-house. I'll talk about that a little bit later, what he told me. Let's unwrap this guy. This model here was like a $240 version. I do like this, sending it in with a kerchief. I do like that. I have a dog, and I think this is going to look beautiful on her. And I'm going to use it for other things too, obviously. Ooh-wee. So first off, this handle and this shape, I really like the brass finishes, and I like the 3 instead of the 2 pins. I do like that. Obviously full tang. It's got a nice amount of grip. I got the matte finish natural micarta. I'm going to put some wicked wax on that to bring out the color a little bit and to protect the steel. And let's go ahead and take a look at this blade. Oh yeah, super sharp behind the edge. Almost has like a Canadian type or Skinner type back to it. You know, this little recurve here, sometimes good for cleaning off skins. Very thin behind the edge, I can tell you that right now. Also has this nice little sharpening choil. A lot of the other small fixed blades do not have this sharpening choil. Why is that? Well, I think that's because this probably adds at least 5 to 10 minutes of time to drill that hole and then to cut it up, because the center of, I don't think you could just cut this hole with a drill press. You're also going to have to cut in with a Dremel or some kind of tool in here to cut that out. And when all is said and done, I think that is just one of those little things that a lot of companies don't do, because it just adds 5 to 10 minutes onto each knife. And when you're a small maker, that will add up. If you're making 50 knives for a drop on DLT, or 80 or however many he made, that amount of time really adds up in the end. So what is the negative about a sharpening choil? The negative would be that while you're cutting something, when you get down to this point, the material is going to catch on it. What's the positive? The positive is you can make a fully sharpened knife all the way around there. And if you know what you're doing, you don't have to really worry about that. I prefer the sharpening choil. I had to pause it for a minute. I just wanted to get some of the knives out that I'm going to be comparing this to. But first, let's take a look at the one that he sent me. The main difference, this is also matte and it's also canvas micarta, but it has, I think, what's called natural liners on here. they're very dark, so they don't add a lot. But for the price wise, it's probably this one's probably worth a little bit more than this one. Sentimentally, this one's worth a lot more because he actually sent this to me. I'm not going to let that affect my review of this, but now I can kind of see, is there a difference in quality control? Is there a difference between these two knives at all? And I don't see any in my initial impressions. I'm going to use both of these knives. And then one of them I'm going to give away to one of my Patreon supporters. So, yeah, that'll be cool. AEB-L. So he does the heat treatment in-house. He told me that he's tested them. All of them have come above 62, but he lists them as 61 to 63. To give himself a little bit of leeway on that. AEB-L will take an extraordinarily fine edge. So being sharp behind the thin behind the edge is not a bad thing. These are made for razors, and you can get an apex on these degree angle much, much sharper than you can other steels like 3V or similar type steels. And that's why I like it. It's a stainless steel as well, and it has a relatively good toughness. Of course, the other steels that are in the same family besides the AEB-L are Nitro V and 14C28N. So let's take a look at a couple of others too and compare these and get some measurements on this too. So the OG, one of my favorite fixed blade in-pocket carries, of course. We got here the daily carry, which I had a taco sheath made for this. This might be screaming for a taco sheath. I got to tell you, I might have to get one made for this. So the daily carry, you'll see that it's a little bit bigger than the daily carry. Of course, different blade shape. This blade shape is kind of a leaf type shape, like I was talking about before with a drop point. And you'll notice here that there is no sharpening choil on this, right? Actually, this one does have a small, I didn't know, maybe I sharpened it too much. So this one does have a sharpening choil. This is AEB-L as well. This is from LT Wright. Very nice micarta on this guy too. So you can see that it's smaller than that guy. Let's get the measurements out of the way. We got 3 3/4 and 7 3/8 overall. Yeah, it feels super sharp, super sharp. This is a saber grind, Christian. Please let me know in the comments. It's not convex, is it? Is it convex? I can't tell. I almost want to say it might be a convex saber grind, but I'm not sure. Please let me know. Again, this is an unboxing first impressions, although not quite because I unboxed this one yesterday. And then let's compare it to the Mako. Definitely a little bit bigger than the Mako. And let's compare it to the ultralight Bush Bark River ultralight. You can see it has the same length and feel as that one. I swear to God, by reflecting the light off of this, I mean, this is obviously a convex grind. That looks like a convex grind to me. I'm really curious about that now. And then, so you see how the knife is this basically the blade, the handle, all same height profile. This comes down a little bit. So I just got a skin bender in pocket sheath, and I love this guy. It works substantially well, and I got it specifically for this and for my moccasin. I've got a taupe designed BRK moccasin. It works really well for that. It's not going to work for this because of the height here. This is too tall of a knife profile to really fit in here and work. So I'm going to look around and see if Jenna, I believe her name is, that makes these in pocket sheaths, if she makes one that's just a little bit wider, but the same depth, because I think the depth is fine. Did I put that in backwards? Yeah, I did. All right. So yeah, so there's that guy. Let's compare it to a couple other knives that were on my top lists, my top 5 of favorite in-pocket carries. This is a good comparison here. I think this is the LT Wright. This is the Very Good Knife Company's Tradition Junior. Got the same kind of higher type profile blade. The blade shapes are different. Got more belly on this guy. This has a nice amount of belly with a flat part. This is going to be good for feather sticking, I can already tell, and for some carpentry. The Canuck, that is. Less, so only 2 pins. Also, this is thinner in profile on the handle. And this has a little meat to it, is what I'm going to say. It's just slightly thicker in the hand, which I do like that. And I do like this little finger scallop here too. None of these other knives really have a finger scallop except for the Mako, which has a lot of belly to it, Coke bottle type handle. And this is like the traditional Coke bottle European type handle to it, which I do like a little belly there, but this finger scallop kind of works in the same way. And with the ultralight bushcrafter, the balance point is basically right here. And that's the same thing with this. I tested this yesterday, so I know. So the balance isn't on this finger scallop. It's actually just behind the finger scallop. So really on your third finger, it's really right there. And that's fine with me. I actually like it to be a little heavier in the hand than it feels better to me when I'm using it as a carpenter tool or a bushcraft tool and for cooking. It just feels better to me. I do like his little design here, Lishen. And I do like the fact that they're, well, you know, it's interesting. I go back and forth. There's no AEB-L. This is not marked. Do I care about that? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. This has an L on there. LT Wright has different type things. This is AD-CRV2, not marked on this blade, just a logo. I think I don't care. I think just having the logo of the name on there, absolutely fine. Obviously American made, but it doesn't say that anywhere. You'd have to know what you're doing and what you're getting into. What else do I want to say about it? So the price range and for the fit and finish of this knife, it's definitely comparable to a Bark River. It is definitely compared to a Mako. It's definitely compared to Very Good Knife Company, and it's definitely very comparable to LT Wright's prices, although LT Wright is actually usually cheaper because they usually using more A2 and O1 knife steel rather than AEB-L, although they do have some AEB-L, and it's usually priced accordingly. Any other knives I want to compare this to real fast? I don't think I do. So yeah, I'm going to definitely play around with this. I'm going to give it the full review treatment. I'll compare it some more, and I'll also rank it. The video that I mentioned earlier about best American made fixed blade knives, the video link should have already popped up on this video. But if you look for that, you'll see that I ended up ranking my top 5. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to that video and I'm going to compare. I'm going to put this one in the ranking of that top 5 as well. In the meantime, though, I really hope that you like this and that you might want to win one of these knives soon. And so you would support me on Patreon by clicking that link down below. And for $3 a month, you too could be entered to win a knife of the month. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, helps the channel. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.